and we'll get it going here at 5 after.
Is everyone able to see the screen right now with the Grubhub instructions?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, great.
I think I'll hold off on the music just in case somebody has some questions or not, because we're gonna get started here now, like in just a minute.
You can always sing for us, Tyler.
Everybody would get off the call if that was the case. They'd be like, this guy here, I can rap, can't sing. Listen, I've spent more of my days singing than rapping, and I put out 3 hip hop albums. That goes to say how I don't got the juice. I just can't do it.
Hey, that's impressive though, Tyler, man. I'll tell you what, I'll give you kudos for that, bud.
Oh,
all right.
I'll get me on some karaoke on a No Diggity Black Street. It's a rap.
All right. All right. Here we are, 10 after. Take it away, Señor Consejo.
All right. Bueno, buenos días a todos y bienvenidos. My name is Christian Canseco Juarez, and I will be your host for today's 9th annual Clark County Youth Latino Conference. I just wanted to take this opportunity to first thank you all for participating, all you youth. Yeah, seriously, I mean, like the fact that you registered, the fact that you guys are taking 2 hours out of your Saturday to be here with us today means a lot. It shows the commitment to yourself and to your future. I mean, it's such a small thing, but at the end of the day, it means so much. I mean, if you think about it, you guys get up every day to connect on Zoom, to go to school, to go to school nowadays, which is on a Zoom call. You also take the time to focus on your homework and your projects to get done, or whether it's just as small as, getting some chores done around the house or helping your siblings make sure that they get a meal while your parents are at work. All these things are just small things, but at the end of the day, they build up to really significant parts of your lives. Each of these moments help influence who we become as an adult. And so what the choices that you make today impact your future. So today, today we're going to be focusing on who we are, strong and powerful. Let me repeat that again, strong and powerful. There is a reason why this conference was named Strong and Powerful. You as Latino youth have such a huge influence in our community and in our future. You will be the next generation of professionals working in our businesses, in our organizations, in our governmental agencies. You guys will be the role models to the next generation of youth that goes behind you. And so you are strong and powerful. And I want you all to believe in yourself starting today. I mean, this is a perfect time to believe in who you are and the possibilities that you could bring to every group that you are ever part of, whether it's your college class, your future work employer, any nonprofits that you work for, even your family and your friends. You are huge influential people in our community, and I want you all to believe in yourself and the potential that you bring to the table, because we are a great community as Latinos, and so I really would like to encourage you all to do that. I also want to, in a few minutes, I'm going to be introducing our guest speaker, keynote speaker today, who is Tyler Monk. I had the honor to speak with him just a few times before today, but I can tell you, you guys will be impressed with this guy. He definitely has an energy and passion that you could feel through the screen. And even though we are not present, he's going to blow you away. And I'm really excited to have you guys listen to him here in a few minutes. I also want to highly encourage each of you to stay engaged. Ask questions when you have questions, either verbally or in the chat box. We certainly want this to be interactive and for you guys to make the best of this event. The other thing that I wanted to ask is, I'd like to take this opportunity now to kind of practice that questions and kind of speaking out loud, or if you want to just put it on the chat box, by allowing each of you to introduce yourself, stating your name and the school that you currently attend. So if we want to take the next few minutes, there's no particular order, please feel free to speak up, either virtually, or if you want to just put it on the chat box and just introduce yourself with your name and the school that you attend.
Hi, my name's Alexa and I go to Fort.
Thanks, Alexa. Anybody else? Hey, Osman, thanks for being here. Stacy, thank you very much. Dana, thank you so much. Looks like there's a lot of folks from Fort, so go Trappers. Viviana, Heritage High School, there you go. Appreciate you being here. Kelly, another Fort Vancouver Trapper. Giselle Ortega, thank you again for joining. Anybody from Hudson's Bay, from Skyview? Andrea from Heritage, thank you so much for joining. Pamela from Fort, thank you again. Anybody from Evergreen? Fort? Lisbeth Diaz, thank you so much for joining and appreciate your comment. I have to admit, I'm a Hudson's Bay High School graduate, so I know Fort very well. We used to be rivals back in the day. I'm sure that's a continued thing. So I'm really happy to see a lot of folks from Fort. Gerardo, thank you for being here.
Hi, I'm Sam, and I go to WSUV.
Thank you, Sam. Appreciate you being here. I'm a WSUV alumni. I graduated in 2011, so I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name's Alma Menchot, and I'm also a WSUV student.
Wonderful. Thank you, Alma.
I'm Luis, and I also go to WSUV.
Luis, thank you very much for being here.
Hi, I'm Jair, and I go to UW.
Jair, I appreciate you being here. I also have to admit, I went to UW, and UW is very close to my heart. Dogs are my boys, so. All right. Is there anybody else that we missed? I have to admit, I'm kind of just scrolling through the names, but if you want to just introduce yourself even through the chat box, I would appreciate it. If not, I certainly do appreciate everybody who took the time to introduce himself. Again, this is certainly an event for you, so please continue to stay involved and engage throughout the day. So at this moment, I would like to hand it over to Diana so she could introduce to us a little bit about the history of the Clark County Youth Leadership Conference. So Diana?
Yes, good morning. Thank you, Chris, for that. Good morning, everyone, and young adults who are joining us this morning. My name is Diana Avalos Leos. With the help of community partners like members from City Council, Latino leaders in the community, we created this conference 9 years ago. We wanted to make sure that the conference provided a space for Latino youth like yourself, youth of color, to have a safe space to express themselves, to learn about and navigate through the complex systems that sometimes prevent us from gaining access to post-secondary education or technical careers or work for that matter. It is also a place for young adults like yourself to have a voice, to express who you are, what you're thinking, and learn about how to empower and amplify your voice in creating and influencing change. Some of you on this call may not have the opportunity to vote in this election. However, don't get discouraged because you are a major influencer in your community. You have that voice and that power to influence the adults and your community to vote. And those of you who are joining us today who are able to vote, do so. Don't go, pa' qué? I don't need to. The minute you say that, you are empowering the dark side to win. Vote. Influence others to vote. This is one of the many reasons why this conference was created. For you guys to learn, for everyone in this call to learn about the power of your voice, the power to influence change in your community, for yourselves, and for your family. It breaks my heart, honestly, that we're not able to be on the Washington State University campus this year. But we were determined to bring a conference to you in the most, in a way that was safe, and that was through Zoom. Many of you have been, many of you have participated at the annual Latino Youth Leadership Conference, either at Washington State University, and in previous years we were at Clark College. And we would rock that house. You guys were just all over the campus. You guys met new friends. You guys took pictures, hashtags. And I know this year looks a little different. And so we made the decision, we have to do something for all you, to have another space to share. One day I hope to see one of you kind of take over my space, because this is not for me to hold. This is a gift for me to give to the community. And I am incredibly blessed that I'm just feeling a little overwhelmed with emotion right now, that we have 25 students on the call today. And like Christian said, you guys could have just, you know, watched TV or watched TikTok or created a TikTok video, but instead you're here. So thank you to each one of you for joining us this morning. If you will see on your screen, it says CCYLC Grubhub. Send, the person behind that is Rose Mendoza. Send her your contact information so that we can honor you with a Grubhub card at the end of the conference. Again, thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you for being with us and spending 2 hours of your morning to learn about how to support yourself in terms of college, in terms of emotional wellness, how to empower yourself with the right tools to influence and create change for our community. So thank you.
Thank you, Diana. No, I think that is incredible information to know. And again, I think one of the biggest things that we could take away from this is that, you know, thankfully Diana was a founder of this organization, and because of this organization, it provides a platform for youth like yourself to participate in the community, to engage together, and to build that community that we are. I mean, I can tell you I'm a Latino, and I know one of the most important things in our culture is unity, right? I mean, united we stand, united we are strong. And so the closer that we are able to work together and help each other out, I think that is what really defines who we are as Latinos. So thank you again, Diana, for allowing a platform for us to come together. Really appreciate you with that. The next thing I want to briefly talk about is the agenda for today. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page and we kind of understand the timelines for today's conference. So between now and 10:30, we're actually going to have Tyler Monk here just speak to us in a few. After he shares his information with us, at 10:30, we're going to actually break out into two group sessions. One of them is going to be led by Catherine Zavala. She's going to talk to us about emotional wellness. And the other is going to be led by Arturo Santana, who's going to be talking to us about financial aid. And after the breakout sessions, we're going to reunite as a group at 11:45 for closing statements. Now, a few things before we get into the actual conference piece where Tyler will give us the keynote speech. I want to just talk about some Zoom etiquette things real quick. First of all, you know, I've noticed that everybody has done this, and I appreciate everybody doing this. Just make sure that your mic is muted throughout the entire conference. I understand that a lot of folks are either at home or in public places. I mean, I am certainly, and I understand that there's noise around. And so we just want to make sure that we are conscious about that, and we are respectful to our to the folks who are not only speaking, but also your other fellow students who are also participating. We want to make sure that we provide a platform where we could all benefit from it. In addition to that, I also would like to ask that we are all respectful to our speakers and the folks who will be presenting today. They certainly took the time out of their Saturday as well to be here with us today, so please give them your full undivided attention and respect. In addition to that, as I mentioned earlier, please stay engaged, ask questions, whether you want to, you know, say it verbally, or if you want to just put it in the chat box. We'll certainly keep an eye on that and answer your questions as they go on. The other thing I wanted to mention is I noticed that most of you have your cameras off right now. I completely respect that. If you need to step away, I would say, you know, keep your cameras off. However, I would like to actually encourage for the folks who feel comfortable, actually to turn your camera on. And the reason being is that is how we could be connected. I think that allows us to build community even when we are not present. And that allows for our presenters to connect with each individual who is present in this conference. So for the folks that feel comfortable enough turning the video on, you know, I would highly recommend that. You know, you certainly don't have to do it, but if you want to just be engaged and, you know, be there as a community, and again, as the unity that we are as Latinos, certainly welcome you to do that. And the other thing that I want to mention just very briefly, it's something that I learned in my professional Zoom meetings, is try not to multitask. And what I mean by that is, you know, for the next 2 hours, you know, you've made the decision to register, you've made the commitment to attend. I would suggest, you know, putting your phone aside, not checking social media while you're on here, because these next 2 hours, I promise you, will go by very quickly. And the last thing I would want for any of you to do is to miss any valuable information that one of these speakers mentions. If you have a piece of paper and a pen, certainly please grab that, because you want to jot down any comments, any inspirational things that they share with you, any information. It's invaluable. The next 2 hours are going to be very important for you. And so I would highly recommend that you try not to multitask, you know, focus on this conference and focus on what the folks are sharing with us. So those are kind of just housekeeping things. But now that I kind of mentioned those things, I do want to open it up for any questions that you may have or any concerns you may have regarding the conference before we get to Tyler. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to say them out loud or just put them in the chat box. I don't see any questions on the chat box. I think we'll be, let's see. So the Grubhub email, Stacy, is going to go to the CCYLC-Grubhub folks. So the person who has the CCYLC-Grubhub, go ahead and send them a private message on the chat box, and you'll be able to, and that's how you'll be able to communicate with them. Thank you for that question, Stacy. All right. Yep, you're very welcome. Okay, so if nobody else has any questions, we'll get right into Mr. Tyler Monk. Let me give you a quick intro on him. Just want to let you guys know who he is. I'm sure he's going to share that with you, but just want to give you a little bio on who Tyler Monk is. So Tyler Monk is a first-generation college graduate and entrepreneur. Tyler grew up under the poverty line in the inner city of Portland, Oregon, where he struggled academically throughout high school. Dealing with domestic violence and substance abuse at home, he had challenges focusing on school. Tyler was able to push through the barriers and go on to graduate from college with a degree focused on program management and leadership theory. After college, Tyler began his career working for the Vancouver School District, where he remained for 6 years. In 2018, Tyler began his entrepreneurial pursuits and launched his inspirational storytelling company, The Underdog Mentality. Now, I know Tyler's going to talk to you about a lot of things today. A few things that I know we talked about earlier this week is that he's going to be focused on passion, purpose, and lifestyle while navigating the chaos, especially during the times that we're living today. So Tyler, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. I know we are very grateful to have you and excited to hear from you today.
Hey, right on, Christian. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. I'm a little unorthodox in my approach as a keynoter. What I would love to do is share a spoken word piece with you real quick. If you're unfamiliar with spoken word, it's a mixture of hip hop and poetry. Now, transparently, this is a very revealing and personal story that I'm going to share with you. But I think at the times that we're in, and the leaders that you guys are, I think it could add value, and I think it can inspire. So here we go. Now, if I mess up, it's been a while since I've done this. It's okay. Actually, I won't be able to see you laughing at me if you laugh at me because your cameras are off. But I'll just restart if I mess up. So here it is. All right. My childhood circumstances developed hurtful damage. You see, it was like mercy had vanished, but I found that refuge to rescue my thoughts. I feel that my life is what I make it. I can reject or embrace it, climb out of the basement and put my feet onto some pavement, or I can run from the nightmare and let my dream start fading. Well, hold on, young man. Resistance is here. Remember, you grew up below the poverty line. Well, I'm actually fine because I always knew I never had a poverty mind. My mentality was my reality. Negative thoughts were a fallacy, and I never underestimated that I could use my strength as a strategy. No victim here. You see, it was more like joyful gratefulness mixed with tears. Because I realized my story provided a prescription that could potentially help heal my sick peers. And right now, I am just scratching the surface. Underneath this black skin, you'll find a talented person. An immaculate purpose combined with the passion for learning, with faith so strong, it makes fear flee my body and the devil gets nervous. I am on an excursion, but that road to success got me swerving. Can you please name one significant person who didn't struggle when he was traveling, committed with purpose? You see, I am certain that when I interview these interviews, I realize God designed me for greatness, y'all. But that is not what they teach in school. You can read on the headlines in the news. There's just too much to choose and only one decision. You see, open ears can love to listen. Open eyes can see a vision. Motivation can provoke your mission. But there's only one thing that's going to cause that radical transformation. What's that? Well, hold on. Get a pen and pad and write this down. That is ownership over my actions, feeding into my passions, planting seeds of trees that will cover my family with some shade. Until I build a legacy so big, it could outlive past them. So again, please ask me, Tyler, what do you do? Nah, my brother, if you really want to answer that as the truest, do not ask me what I do. Just ask me, why do I do it? Thank you. I appreciate y'all. All right. Thank you. Christian got that message. It's always interesting, okay, when I do these on Zoom, because there's zero response. You can't see what people were thinking, how they was feeling, if they was digging it, if they wasn't digging it. It's just always interesting when you do it like that. But I'm grateful to be here with y'all. Oh, I see that the cameras are coming on. Oh, those are all the presenters. Young folks, if you're feeling encouraged, if your hair ain't a mess, if you brush your teeth and you're looking decent, turn your cameras on. We want to see you. You know, you got some lovely faces, but no pressure. There we go. A couple people coming on. All right. Let's dive in. I'm going to share my screen. I got about 17 minutes with you. I was blessed with a couple extra minutes, and I'm going to deliver this in a way that I hopefully is going to just encourage you and you feel inspired for the rest of this session. So I'm sharing my screen right now. It's up. Can everybody see it? Can anybody see my screen? Y'all can see it? Okay, I just couldn't hear you. All right, beautiful. Let me present this now. Okay, so I'm here to talk to you about passion plus purpose plus lifestyle while navigating the chaos. Go ahead right now and in the chat, within the last 6 months, at any point during these 6 months, you can say, you know what, Tyler? Bro, I've dealt with some chaos. I've dealt with some challenges. Now, look, chaos is a 4-letter word. There's another word for chaos. It's called crap. There's another 4-letter word. We ain't finna cuss because I might not be invited back. But we've all dealt with some of this in our life in this last 6 months. So in the chat, I want y'all to engage with me, and I want you to put in there, say, yes, I've dealt with some chaos. I want to see who all responds. Take a second. Go ahead and do that. Let me see. Go ahead and share that. Yes, in all caps. Oh yeah, here it is. Not getting a lot of no's. That's for sure. Not seeing many no's. Seeing a lot of yeses. Yes, 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 and yes. Arturo. Yes. Okay. So now we're on common ground. You see, as a speaker, I look at myself as like an elevator conductor. Some of y'all might be like, what the hell is an elevator conductor? Let me explain. I don't even know if this exist, but this used to happen like back in like the 50s. They'd be somebody on the elevator whose whole job was just to take people up and down, like in hotels and like business buildings. So I look at myself as like an elevator conductor, right? So as we get older, we're supposed to be wise and have all this sage wisdom. The reality is there's a lot of old people that ain't getting no better. They're just getting old and dusty. You know how many young people I know that are very impressive? Age, that has nothing to do with it. But let's just pretend, since I've been through a little bit of life, I got a little bit more experience than you, you know, a little bit more, you know, whatever you want to call it. I'm 20 years older than probably most of y'all. So if I'm up here kind of with my experiences and the things that I've seen and that I've been through, and let's say some of you guys are down here, you guys are all over the place. Well, I got to meet you where you're at so we can come on this common ground. So I'm the elevator conductor. You get on, you push the button, and I'm coming to get y'all to take y'all where we need to go. So I'm excited that you guys are all on the same level playing field, understanding this chaos and what's going on. And I'm excited to share with you about how you navigate that. So let's dive in. First question I have for you is this. Again, I'm going to ask you to put this in the chat. If we were in person, I would absolutely be calling on folks that feel encouraged to share. And so just keep in mind, when you put something in the chat, I might actually ask you to elaborate on that a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't discourage you. Hopefully that encourages you, because this is an opportunity for you to lead and showcase kind of your thoughts. So you see this question here. When you hear the word success, what is the first thought that you have? First thing that comes to mind. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds. Let's see how many we get in the chat. And then I'm going to kind of run through those. We'll have some conversation and dialogue about what you guys put, about what you believe success is, the first thought that comes to mind. Arturo said sleep. Arturo, you said sleep. Did he say that? Sleep? Okay. I feel you. Happiness. 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 Did you guys all coordinate this? A lot of happiness. Being able to feel good. Happiness. Excitement. Love it. Wait for a couple more here. Freedom. Ooh, love it. Peace. Future. Let's go. 10 more seconds and we'll dive into these. Beautiful. You guys are doing great. Loved. Oh, I love it. Happiness. Love it. Fulfillment. Oh, okay. We got some good ones. This is going to be fun. Okay. All right. So let's dive in. The first one I want to dive in, I think we should dive into it because it would be foolish to not dive into it, is happiness. A lot of you put happiness, probably at least almost 10 of you. Is there anybody who's brave enough to say, this is what I believe happiness is? This is why I said happiness to me is success. Does anybody want to turn on their camera if it's not on, turn on their audio and just share with us a little bit about what happiness means to you? And I'm totally comfortable with awkward silence for like 20 seconds. I'll give it at least 20.
I'll explain why I put happiness.
Okay, so who is this? Oh, Sam. Okay, what's up, Sam? All right, here we go.
So when I thought of success, happiness was the first thing that popped in my mind because it's like you're at that point of success and you're happy with it. You're happy with what you've done to be at that point, and you're just feeling happy to finally reach that point. So yeah.
That's beautiful, Sam. So you got, Christian, you guys can continue this if you'd like. It's really corny, but it's fun. If we were in person, I'd be like, all right, everybody give Sam some love. We start clapping. So instead, what we're going to do is this. I'm going to say, let's give Sam some love. We're going to go, woo, woo, 2 claps. You feel me? So we go on the count of 3. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3. Let's give Sam some love. Woo, woo, 2 claps. So which means all y'all got to turn on your camera, your audio right now. Any questions? We got to give Sam some love. Okay? On 3, let's give Sam some love. 1, 2, 3. Woo, woo, woo. Dance with it. They got dance with it. Hey, 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 hey. All right. I'm going to stop being corny. If my kids was in here, they'd be so embarrassed. But it's all good. It's all good. My 3-year-old, she got this dance. She's like, Daddy, do your dance. I'm like, girl, stop playing. Let's get it. All right, so let's look at some of these other ones. I want to come back to happiness real quick, Sam. What you know what's interesting? You know what I find to be really, really interesting? A lot of people, full-blown adults who's supposed to have life figured out, have zero clue what it takes for them to be happy. They think I get this new this and I'm gonna feel happy. I take this vacation here, I'm gonna get happy. And we're like destination chasing happiness. And happiness is really an internal job. And so what I would encourage all of you that put happiness and peace, right? Finding those things that give you happiness and give you peace. And that's where I think passion, purpose, and lifestyle, it all comes together. Fulfillment, right? Fulfillment is huge. I mean, and let me explain this. Fulfillment is whatever you decide it is, right? That's what I love about when you're designing your life. Like, what is fulfillment? What is, a lot of the times I hear, I want to be comfortable. Well, what is comfortable? Comfortable to me is different from comfortable to you. So you got to define your comfortable, right? And nobody can tell you how to define that. You get to choose that for yourself, right? And you are totally responsible for what you do, for what you do not do, and how you respond to life's challenges. And that's why we're talking about leading through this chaos. So thank you everybody that shared. There's going to be more opportunity for you to share. Ooh, I got to get going. We only got a couple more minutes. We're going to get this done now. All right. So what I would love for all of you to do, if you don't remember anything other than this today from what I share, is find your why. Your why is not the flame that gets you going, it's the igniter fluid, because your flame is going to run out. When I did that spoken word, and I get so sick and tired when people ask me, like, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? And they're asking me typically, like, what do you do for work? And then I just start giving them weird answers. Like, man, I got 4 kids at home. My wife's from Guam. She's Chamorro. I love cooking Islander food. Man, what else? I love to sing, but I'm horrible. You know what I mean? I like to work out. I just got a bike. Been riding on bike trails. I was hitting them with all this, and they just looking at me like, what is wrong with this guy? And I'm just like, well, this is who I am. What I do for a job doesn't define my entire identity, but I know how we've been programmed to conflate our whole identity with what we do for work. And I would tell you is, the work becomes a part of you. You don't become the work. Does that make sense? And that's what I believe passion, purpose, and lifestyle give you. So here's my why. I tell people, my why is to help people tap into the power of their potential so they can lean into their greatness. This is my fuel. My vehicle is, I'm an inspirational storyteller, what I'm doing right now. I also run a nonprofit organization called Ready to Rise, where I work with a lot of young folks like yourselves to help them transition to high school to college and college into career. But all of those things are just vehicles. They're just what I do. Why I do it is so much more important because it gives me fuel to do this type of work, and I'm not ever tired from it. What do I mean tired? No, I get exhausted. Like I will fall asleep with a quickness, but I'm not exhausted mentally and I'm not drained that I feel like, why am I doing this work? Does this even matter? Am I making a difference? Okay. Find your why. Oh, I went the wrong way. Let's go this way. Bam! Look at them pictures right there. I had to put my family on here for y'all. Y'all can see that? Look at them little kids. Look at these kids. So this is me and my sister, Melissa, right here. And she's so near and dear to my heart. She's a second mama to me. She, if you heard of my story, my childhood circumstances developed hurtful damage. We had a mother that was drug addicted and had abusive boyfriends in the home. And it was rough. Growing up, to be honest with you, I was blessed with a father that loved me to death, would encourage me to the ends of the world. He literally thought I was better than Kobe Bryant at basketball. I was like, Dad, I ain't better than the third dude on my team. You know what I mean? But he had that much belief in me. And through that belief that my dad had in me, just like I hope you have somebody in your life, whether that's a parent, a friend, a coach, an auntie, an uncle, a teacher, anybody, to encourage you to just keep going and realize your full potential. So I want to share this story real quickly about fault and responsibility, and then I'm probably going to have to fast forward to the end of my slides because we don't have enough time to get through everything. It's totally my fault. I just get off topic, and that's almost every time I do one of these talks. So this is a picture of me and my sister on the left, and this is me and my family. So this is my son Amari here. This is my wife Venetia. It's my baby Avea. That's the one that loves to dance like that. That's my daughter Amaya. She's a freshman in high school. My daughter right here is 12. She looks like she's like 8, but she's 12 years old. And that's my family right there. And I want to talk about fault and responsibility. Here's what I would tell you. It is not your fault if you grew up in or you are currently in a crappy situation in your home life. If you don't necessarily maybe have the support that you need to thrive, if you don't necessarily feel the love in your life that you should be feeling as a young person, as any person, we all need love in our life. It is not your fault that those things have happened to you or that you're going through it. But you best believe this. It is 110% your responsibility to change that narrative. How I look at it is, I'm either going to let my past cripple me, or I'm going to let my past fuel me to catapult me to new heights. That doesn't mean, you know, that you're not going to deal with an immense amount of challenge and barriers along the way. That's part of the journey, right? Like today, I go to the gym. This morning, I go lift weights, and I'm sore afterwards. It's burning. The only way you grow is through that resistance. It's called resistance training. So you got to, you know, when you're going through this resistance, hopefully a lot of the resistance you're going through is not self-inflicted. I don't want to hear that, but that's the truth. Hopefully you're not putting yourself in positions at a deficit to not thrive. Hopefully it's things that are outside of your kind of your control, but all you can do is respond to it appropriately. And so here's what I want to share with you. Here's how I responded. Where definitions fall short, stories can often bring clarity to chaos. I'm gonna tell you this story so quick. Some of you might have heard this story before because I know I've talked to you. Freshman year of high school, I wanted to play basketball. I had horrible grades. I was ineligible. And when I say horrible grades, I'm gonna show you in a second. My dad had a conversation with me. He said, Tyler, what do you want to do with your life? First time I remember anybody asking me that question. 15 years old. This is 20 years ago. I said, Dad, I want to play basketball. He said, well, son, you got cut from the team, so you got to get better. I said, damn, Dad, you being cutthroat. Like, I'm working on me. I mean, let me get better. He said, but also you got to get your grades right. He said, Tyler, you got to do things you don't want to do in order to get the things that you actually want, especially when you're younger in life, because you ain't got nothing yet. So I worked my tail off. I was able to get my grades together. I was able to get my act together, and I was able to play basketball in high school, got recruited at Division I, had a full ride basketball scholarship through college. And it's blessed me with so many opportunities that's opened up a ton of different doors for me professionally now. But here's where it started. This is my transcript from my freshman year of high school. This is actually a real transcript. 1999, and none of y'all was probably alive. Okay? F, and no grade. Okay, I had 24 grades, I had 23 Fs, and 1 C in PE. 0.2 GPA freshman year of high school. Suspended 3 times. Suspended 1 time for 2 weeks, almost expelled for fighting the teacher. You see, as I was navigating the chaos, I was not taking responsibility for the things that weren't my fault. Let me explain to you. I'm not taking responsibility for the things that weren't my fault. All I can do is respond to how these things have happened to me in order to put myself in a position where I can be happy, where I can have fulfillment, where I can have joy. Okay? Now, I'm going to end with this and then show you the last slide because I'm out of time. Passion. As you think about your passion, I want you to think about this. When you go out and you find things that you're passionate about to do for work, to make a difference in this world, these are things that it doesn't take any energy for you to do. I'm assuming some of you are probably super passionate about video games. Some of you are passionate about writing, passionate about family, passionate about helping other people. Then there's purpose, right? These are things that inspire you because you're making a difference in the world. Now, passion is easy. You don't even have to think about it. It just comes naturally. Purpose is a little more difficult. Like, let's say you want to be a nurse and you want to help people. Well, there's going to be tough days where, you know, you're having a bad day at home and it's a bad day at the hospital. You're seeing some things that are really challenging you, but when you sit down and you look at it in totality, you realize like, no, I'm actually doing things that matter and make a difference. And the last thing is that we don't talk enough, especially as BIPOC folks, we don't talk nearly enough about lifestyle. I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about the environment, the spaces, the things that you do, and how you work, and the environment you work in. So my whole probably first 10 years of my career, I was living my passion and my purpose, but I wasn't making the money to be able to get out of generational poverty. I wasn't working in the really environments that were conducive for my growth. I was working in office settings. I hate being in office settings for more than an hour. I work from I'm in my office, this is my wife's office right now, but I work in the garage, I work in my car, I go work at the park, I'm working when I'm working out, thinking about things, creating ideas. So you got to understand how you work and design something that allows you to live the lifestyle. Don't settle. So many of us settle and we're like, well, you know, it's a good job, good benefits. You can find that. Find something that's going to allow you to live your passion, your purpose, and design the lifestyle that you want to live. And I'm gonna skip to this last page because this you guys are gonna like this. Oh, that's funny. Okay. So I thought my first passion was basketball. This is me dunking at Central Washington University. Got told I couldn't play basketball no more because my knees were bad, had knee surgery. Told if I continued to try to play basketball, by the time I was 30, I was gonna have to have knee replacements. So now I had always been making music. This is me with the baby face, you know, just shaved up. My wife hates my face like that. But, and I was making music. I put out 3 projects. If you want to look me up, look up Haffa. That's my name. If you want to know more about that story, I'm going to share my Instagram here. You can hit me up and I can tell you how I got the name Haffa. And I thought that was my passion. That was my purpose. But then when I realized this picture on the right, this is significant because this is a principal at Columbia River High School. He was my principal my freshman year of high school at Benson. He suspended me 3 times. Mr. Alex Odenpaul, good dude. What I respected about Alex is he treated me with dignity. He understood that I had challenges and barriers in my life, and I was just going through a rough patch. So he stuck with me. He believed in me, and he reached out to me last year to come be the first to come be the first keynote speaker at Columbia River for the Martin Luther King Assembly. So going from getting suspended 3 times, all Fs, pretty much what he knows about me, to now speaking and influencing his entire school, teachers, students, all in the same. So here, I'm here to tell you this, that when you find your passion, when you find your purpose, and you take the time to navigate and design that lifestyle, it's a beautiful place. You'll have happiness, you'll have fulfillment. There's still gonna be challenges and barriers, and you can still push through those things, but just realize it's gonna take effort, energy, and the right mindset. Now, here's the last thing I wanna share with you. Go follow me on the gram. Here's the deal, I'm shouting you out. If you follow me on the gram and you send me like a DM message, we gotta figure kind of how this might work. Follow me on the gram, send me a DM message, and we will coordinate how to get you some underdog mentality swag. I got a ton of t-shirts. You can tell me your size. We got gray, we got black, and I can figure out and coordinate how we can get that stuff to you. So I'm on the gram, hit me up. I appreciate y'all. You're gonna have a great rest of your session. Thank you. Pat, back to you, Christian, go ahead.
Tyler, thank you so much, Tyler. Awesome. For all those that can and would like to take your mics off mute for a few seconds, I just want to give Tyler a round of applause from all of us that are here. So if everybody can do that, I'll give a few seconds for everybody to do that. And let's give him a round of applause real quick for everything that he just did.
Thank you. Oh, my wife and my daughter's clapping too. Very excited.
No, Tyler, man, I gotta admit, man, when we met those 2 times, I could just feel your passion, your energy that you have for sharing your stories and for inspiring others. And I really hope that the youth here definitely felt that as well. I have to admit, even though I'm no longer considered a youth, you know, it's certainly a few years older than a lot of the folks who are attending here. A lot of what you said really is relevant to my life. And I think it's relevant to everybody's life at any part of our life. But I think one of the most important things that you youth have is the fact that you are getting this 10 years ahead of time than we have, than I had. You know, I wish that, you know, I would have had a motivational speaker share these things with me when I was in high school. And so, you know, one of the things that I could share with you that really stuck with me that Tyler spoke about was the spoken word. I mean, I can tell you that takes a lot of courage, a lot of confidence to be able to do that. And I want to encourage each and every one of you to really embrace that. You know, I think that as youth, there's a lot of times that we are hesitant, we maybe feel embarrassed or shy to participate, to maybe, you know, be involved in certain groups, or even to give like a speech in like a social setting. But I would really encourage you to start embracing that, because that is how you get your voice heard. And our voice as Latinos and your voice as youth are super important. And that is something that I want each and every one of you to really embrace. Your voice at the table is invaluable. And it is something that you will learn as you continue to grow and as continue to be involved in organizations. Your voice that you bring as a Latino with a different perspective than many folks in our community, with the upbringing that you have, the values and the morals as Latinos that we were given by our parents, those are invaluable. I really think that that is what will bring you so much, as Tyler was talking about, a lot of success, a lot of that happiness, fulfillment. The other thing that I really found really powerful was the why, you know, finding the why in what you do. That will be what drives you into doing the things that you want to share with others and what you want to pursue as your career, and then how you want to give back to your community and make a difference. So all those things are really relevant to me. But I mean, as a youth, as folks in high school, I would really encourage you to, take some time even after this conference to see how you could apply some of those things that Tyler shared with you in your days and your lives right now to start building a foundation for your future. So thank you again, Tyler, for that. I really sincerely appreciate that.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. And I know I rushed off and I talked fast at the end, so you might have missed my Instagram, but it's the Underdog Mentality on Instagram. If you don't have an Instagram or you don't want to connect on there, I put my email in the chat. And seriously, if you email me your size, I'll coordinate with you, send it to you, however we got to get it to you, so you can get your swag. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you so much. Seriously, we really appreciate you being here. So thank you for those comments. I think at this point, we're going to do our breakout sessions. So quickly, before we do that, I do just want to mention one thing. For the breakout sessions, we're actually going to have two breakout sessions, as I mentioned earlier. One of them is going to be with Catherine Zavala. She's going to be talking to us about emotional well-being and support. And Catherine Zavala is a community prevention project coordinator with ESD 112 and also helps coordinate the Central Vancouver Coalition. So her session will include information about passion, purpose, practicing and building resilience within students. The other session we're going to have is going to be presented by Arturo Santana, and he is the Upward Bound program coordinator. And his session on financial aid and college prep will include information about FAFSA, WASPA, college-bound scholarships, and the focuses on first-gen college students, and which I would imagine many of you are. And I want to take this a quick moment to just really applaud each and every one of you who are first-gen college students. I know the difficulties that come along with that. I mean, you may not realize this, but I was born in Mexico. My first language is Spanish. I came here to the United States when I was 3 years old. My parents didn't know anything. I mean, they didn't speak the language. They didn't know what going to college looked like. They wanted that for me, right? That's why they brought us here to the United States. But it's so difficult. I mean, like from signing up for your SATs, for your ACTs, and doing that 2 years before you even graduate from college, knowing how to apply for scholarships, the process of it, applying for colleges. I mean, all those things, unfortunately, a lot of times our parents don't know about. So as first-gen college students, I really applaud you for not only taking that challenge and going through all that process, but for focusing on your future and wanting to better your life and to continue your education. So, I really encourage each and every one of you to continue doing that. Don't ever settle for anything that people tell you, that you can't do. Believe in yourself, believe in your dreams, and follow those dreams as much as you can. I mean, certainly that's something that I would certainly recommend all you to do. And the other thing that I wanted to mention real quick before we jump into these sessions is that we won't be coming back as a group until you all get a chance to visit with both Catherine and Arturo. So the way that's going to work out, I believe somebody on the background who's working the tech is going to split us up into two different groups. Half of you are going to go with Catherine, and the other half are going to go with Arturo. And halfway through the sessions, we're going to switch you guys and have you guys go to the other one so you guys can have both sessions for today. So having said that, any questions real quick before we go to the sessions? Either on the video or if you want to just put it in the chat box. Okay, so I just got a comment from that there will be a 5-minute break in between each session. So before the first session ends, you guys will get notification. We'll get 5 minutes break and then we'll jump into the second session. Any questions? All right, so I'll let them, the tech folks, handle the breakout, and I think we're going there now. So enjoy, and we'll talk in a bit. Hello, everybody. So that was our first session. We are on our 5-minute break. So please, if everybody could come back in the next 4 minutes and 40 seconds, I would appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, so I think everyone should be back for now, but we will be breaking out to the second group session. So we'll see you guys here back in a bit. Enjoy the session. Welcome back, everybody. So those were two great sessions. I hope you guys certainly enjoyed them. Gracias, Catherine. Gracias, Arturo. Really appreciate both of you guys for all the information that you provided. I mean, I just want to share a few things that really hit close to me. In Catherine's session, one of the big things that I really enjoyed her sharing with us is to take care of ourselves. We are our most valuable assets in this world. Yes, we have families, we have friends, we have parents, but you are responsible for yourself, your well-being, and so please take care of yourself and put yourself as your #1 priority in your life. You know, the other thing that really hit home with me is that one of the students actually mentioned something that I also feel sometimes, and I'm no longer a student, right? But I'm a young adult, and it's, you know, our feeling of belonging here in our community. And there's one thing that I want to share with you all, and this thing is what I would like to share is I would encourage you all to be very proud of your culture. Be proud of who you are, where your parents came from, and the difficult life that you guys have lived if you've lived a difficult life, because all these experiences make you who you are. All these experiences, I really think, you know, who we are, our roots, our cultures, actually give us the passion, our purpose that drive us to make the future that we want, that give us the goals and the dreams that are living in our hearts. So I would encourage you to remember where your roots are from and to embrace the culture that you're living in now and make the difference in your life that you want to see, not only for yourself, but for future generations. So, you know, thank you again, Catherine, for that. And Arturo, thank you so much for the information on the FAFSA and all the educational aspects to applying for college. One of the things that I really took away from your message was, you know, I would really encourage all you students to really consider what is considered from colleges outside of your academics. You know, for example, if everybody has a 4.0, that's a 4.0 GPA applying to the same college, how do they distinguish who gets in and who gets out? And I really think one of the biggest things is like your extracurricular activities, whether that be sports, volunteer, community service, or, you know, joining nonprofits. These are the things that are going to be extremely important in your applications. This is how you distinguish yourself from other applicants, to show that not only are you academically ready to join a college, but you are also involved in community. You care about your culture, about different things that you may be passionate about. And so I would really encourage you to, you know, look for after school activities that you could do, athletics, nonprofits that you could volunteer for. So I would really encourage you all to do that, again, to build that resume. So when you apply for colleges, you have that distinguishing factor besides the 4.0 that everybody else may have. And, you know, one of the other things that Arturo also mentioned is continue applying for scholarships even after you get into college. There's so many scholarships out there. There's a really good friend of mine who is Monica Santos. And one of the things that she told me about is that she applied to so many scholarships that she actually kept all the ones that she got denied, because that gave her the drive to continue to apply for more scholarships. And I can tell you that she actually was able to pay for her education without having to pay one penny, because she eventually got all the scholarship funds to pay through all her education. So, you know, certainly there's a ton of scholarships out there, you know, apply to as many as you can. And as Arturo mentioned, continue applying even while you're in college. So, you know, again, Catherine, Arturo, thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it. And I hope all of our students, you know, came out with some good information. The other thing I would really encourage you that I wanted to mention is this is invaluable information. You guys are very fortunate to attend this session with everybody. What I would really encourage you to do as leaders in your community and as influential folks that you are, is to share this. Share this with your siblings. Share this with your parents. Share it with your family members, your cousins, your uncles, your aunts, with community. Because as we've mentioned in this conference, we as Latinos, that is our strength, is our unity. Helping other folks, sharing with them the knowledge that we have, because this knowledge that you are gaining would be invaluable to other people. And you never know when the information that you share can make a difference in somebody else's life. And so I would really encourage you guys to share this information with others so you build that unity within our community. So again, thank you so much to for sticking through those 2 sessions. I think we're going to be doing the closing. And one thing I do want to mention during the closing is, you know, today was all about you, the youth. We really appreciate you. The next session is going to be for your parents next Saturday, October 24th. It's going to be from 10 to 12, same time. What I would do is I really would encourage you to talk to your parents about joining the session. You know, I really think that it would be invaluable for your parents to also attend the conference so they could get a better understanding of what you as students are going through, how they can help you. And one of the most beautiful things about next weekend's conference is that it's going to be in Spanish. And I know that being, you know, bilingual is super important, but it's really important to be able to speak in your language. And so I really think it's going to be great that your parents are going to be able to connect with the speakers in Spanish. They're going to be able to ask questions in their language, and that comfort level is going to be incredible. So I would really encourage you all to, you know, talk to your parents and ask them to register if they have not registered. Now, as far as the Grubhub gift cards that Diana put on the screen, you know, the way that it's going to work out is if your parents attend next Saturday, you guys will be receiving a $40 Grubhub gift card. However, if your parents aren't able to attend, completely understand, there's a lot of reasons. We will be sending you a $20 gift card for attending today's session. So certainly, you know, I would encourage your parents if they're able to, but either way, you will be receiving a $20 gift card for your participation and your time today. The other things that I do want to say just very briefly is I want to thank all of our speakers today once more. Catherine, Arturo, Tyler, thank you so much for all the information that you shared with us today. I really think it was invaluable for the youth. Again, hearing this as a youth is invaluable, guys. I mean, I wish I would have gotten something like this 10, 12 years ago when I was your age. And so I really hope you guys took something away from all the sessions. I also want to thank our tech support, Brett. Excuse me. It's Brett.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for the tech support. Thank you for you know, transitioning between the sessions and allowing us to have this conference today. I really, really do appreciate your behind the scene work. I also want to give thanks to Diana. Thank you so much for, again, founding this great organization. Thank you for providing this platform for our youth to really connect, because I really think, and I'm a true believer, that our youth are our future. Everybody here, you guys should be very proud of who you are, what you've done, and what you will do in the future. So thank you again, Diana, for that opportunity. And thank you for allowing me to participate in this conference today. And last, and certainly not least, I want to thank all you youth once again. Seriously, I mean, thank you for taking the time out of your Saturday to attend. Thank you for committing to your future, investing in your future, and for seriously, you know, putting everything that is going to be beneficial for you in the end. I really appreciate you guys, and I really hope that you guys, you know, had a great conference. And I also want to thank Rose, who did all of this. She put this all together. She's certainly, I mean, she has been working night and day with all the meetings and getting everything squared away. There's a lot that goes into a production of a conference. And so, Rose, amazing job. Thank you so much for everything that you have done. And, you know, I think that kind of wraps things up. I think the only other thing that I want to mention as I was listening to the sessions is I want each and every one of you to celebrate your milestones. And what I mean by that is that there's so many things that you have already accomplished that you don't even realize. Continuing your high school education, there's a lot of folks who unfortunately don't even complete their high school, get their high school diploma. There's a lot of folks who don't go to college for different reasons, maybe aren't able to. But I would encourage you to celebrate your milestones because they are very important. Those are the things, those are the successes that Tyler was talking about earlier, those milestones, that happiness when you complete those things. I want you to celebrate your milestones, but also don't forget your goals and your missions. You know, don't lose sight of that. Continue striving always for what you want to do in your life, the difference you want to make in the community, and the future you want for yourself. So I would certainly encourage you to do that. And again, don't ever, you know, let anybody else tell you that you can't do anything. you know, you can't do X, Y, or Z, because you're the only person that could dictate your future. You have a lot to offer in this community and in your life. The fact that you're a Latino and you're bilingual is an invaluable asset no matter what anybody tells you. And as we mentioned in the very beginning, you are each very strong and powerful. So do not forget that. Thank you again for attending today. And any questions? If you guys have any questions or comments, please, I would like to open it up at this point for that.
Christian, I just wanted to add really quickly, earlier what you were saying, you know, kind of being part of who you are, being part of your heritage, and part of your culture. You know, me, and like I said, I'm not a youth either, but the older I get, the more proud I am of where I came from and where I'm heading to. I think, especially in today's world with social media and everything, so many things going around, it's easy to lose touch of. It's easy to lose touch of that because we lose focus. We focus so much on other things. For example, myself, Tyler was asking earlier, is anybody going through like some form of chaos right now, something crazy happening in their life? Me, yes, I said, you know, yes, and yes to all three of the different terms that we've used. For me, this actually has been an experience that brought me closer to my culture, knowing that, you know, my parents came from Mexico. I came from Mexico as well. I was born, I don't know how familiar you guys are with Mexico. I was born in Autlán de Navarro, Jalisco. It's actually where Carlos Santana was born. I'm still gonna figure out if we're related because he owes me some Christmas and birthday presents. But I grew up in Las Lagunitas, a very small little ranch out in the mountains in Mexico before I came here. And the older I get, the more, you know, I miss that, the more I miss my roots. So I've actually been reconnecting myself with my culture. And for me, that's actually, I feel like it's been inspiring myself to be better. You know, the crazy difficult times, you'll finding something that will keep you motivated. For me, it's my culture, it's my heritage, it's where I came from. It's, you know, something, I haven't been back to Mexico in over 15 years, and every day I miss it. I have, you know, my grandmother who lived there, who moved to California. You know, we're slowly all moving to the US and we're losing touch with that. So for me, I'm trying to reconnect myself with that again, kind of keep myself going, keep myself motivated. Sorry, like looking down at the chat. But yes, definitely, I want to say, you know, don't lose touch with that, especially in today's world. It gets harder as you get older to reconnect with what you had from the start.
Thank you, Arturo. I really appreciate you sharing with that. I think those are really great comments to share. You know, certainly it's one of the biggest things that as you spend more time away from a culture, especially when you're out of the country, you kind of feel disconnected. But, you know, certainly, as you mentioned, it's great to remember and reconnect with our roots, because our roots make us who we are and give us that, you know, that the pride of who we are and where we came from. So thank you for sharing that. You know, I think there were a few folks that asked about the Zoom link for next Saturday, and Diana responded that they will send out a new link for next week's session. Just encourage your parents to please sign up. And again, remind them that it will be in Spanish. So, you know, we will have a different presenter, actually a really good friend of ours, Liliana Salazar, will be presenting with your parents. So, you know, certainly encourage them to do that. And, you know, again, if you guys have any questions or comments, we'll certainly stay on.
The other thing I want to share with everyone on the call is that if you have any follow-up questions, the email that we sent out to you yesterday, the Clark County Latino Youth at gmail.com, feel free to send us questions or comments, or if you want the PowerPoint slides, we can have a presenter send them to you. So next week, between now and next week, encourage your parents to jump on with us. It will be in Espanol, and we will once again send out an email to you and your parents with the Zoom meeting link for Saturday, October 24th conference. So again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. We will see you hopefully next Saturday. If not, you know how to get a hold of us. Follow us on Instagram. We have an Instagram handle. We also are on Facebook. And then the presenters also shared with you all their contact information. Reach out to them because together we're stronger. And when we become strong, we lift each other up and amplify our voices to create. We are influencers of change and impact. So thank you so much, everyone. And I hope you all have a wonderful afternoon. I'll be working on sending a Grubhub gift cards this afternoon. So sometime today and tomorrow, you'll receive your $20 gift card. And then if you join next week with your parents, it's a $40. So thank you again to Chris, to Ms. Zavala, to Arturo, to Rose, to Tyler, and to Brett for making this all happen. We will see you all next week. In solidarity, saludos, abrazos fuertes, porque somos poderosos y fuertes todos. Thank you so much. Bye.
Gracias. Hasta
Bye.
luego.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.